Have you ever tried to argue with someone who believes in irrational conspiracy theories? Did the conversation go a little something like this? Dolphins are taking over the world! There's no evidence that dolphins are taking over the world. Because they're suppressing the evidence. Well, no one has ever seen a dolphin in charge of anything. They're all hiding. They're shapeshifters. That makes no logical sense. Because you bought into the mainstream narrative. You mean facts? Because everything you've said is a narrative. You would say that because you're part of the cover-up. Frustrating, isn't it? Even if you try your best to stay reasonable and rational, you're not the only one with your hand on the wheel. And they are gonna steer this thing off the rails no matter what you do. So, to help you avoid this kind of train wreck, here are 10 tips on how to argue with a conspiracy theorist. Number 1, don't. Okay, at least consider why you're doing this. Are you talking to this person because you're concerned about them and genuinely want to help? Or are you just pissed off about their dumb theory and want to shame them in front of everyone on social media? You're wrong, there. I'm hoping you're talking to this person because you actually care about them. But either way, number 2, don't argue. You're not going to get anywhere if you go in swinging. If you really care about this person, you need to have a conversation, not an argument. Number 3, take an interest. People like to feel listened to and understood, and there is stuff you can learn from this person. How did they get sucked into this theory? What convinced them? Who convinced them? They'll probably freely tell you all this stuff if you just ask in an open, friendly way. Number 4, ask them to convince you. You can honestly tell them that you're not convinced by this theory yet, but you might be if the evidence was really solid. Well, that's okay, they'll tell you. I wasn't convinced either until I learned the truth about this massive cover-up led by elitist, puppy-hating Cruella de Vil and her— Okay, you asked for it. What usually comes next is they send you a bunch of links to conspiracy videos and podcasts. Some of those videos are painfully long and repetitive and never seem to get to the point and go on and on and on and on. You don't have to sit through all that. Ask them, okay, what's the single most convincing piece of evidence? And see what they bring you. Keep an open mind. I hope they bring you something really good. Maybe it'll even convince you, because you know, some conspiracies are real, like when Big Tobacco conspired to cover up the link between smoking and cancer, or what about that conspiracy by NASA to fake the moon landing? Yeah, that one's real too, and this is the single best piece of evidence someone sent me. An interview with Stanley Kubrick where he admits that he was the one who faked it.
This started to get to me after a while.
What?
The fake moon landing.
You're saying it's true?
Okay. Yeah, it was fake.
But not so open that your brains fall out. There's only one tiny problem with that video. That's not Stanley Kubrick. That's an actor named Tom from a 2015 mockumentary made 15 years after Kubrick died. That's why you should do your own research. Conspiracy theorists love telling you to do your own research, so oblige them. Take their 1 or 2 or even their 3 best pieces of evidence and look into them. See if anyone else has verified or debunked them. Research it, and then openly share what you found. Chances are their evidence is going to turn out to be a great big nothing sandwich. So tell them why you're not convinced. In the mind of a conspiracy theorist, the only reason their theory hasn't gone mainstream is because of the cover-up. That's why no one has heard of it. If people only knew and did their own research, they'd see the truth. Well, you might have just blown their mind by being the only person they know who has heard of it, has done their own research, and has decided their theory is garbage. Has talking to you changed their mind? Probably not. But you have planted a seed of doubt, and over time, little seeds can grow into big, beautiful flowers of skepticism. Who knows, maybe in a few years they'll come back and thank you for being the person who helped them turn a corner with that one conversation you had. Until then, keep the lines of communication open. Let them know that you enjoyed the conversation and you're open to talking more. Keep it respectful. Don't send them a bunch of links that debunk their theories. You didn't like it when they did that to you, and it can feel impersonal and adversarial, like you're trying to one-up each other. Unless that is your goal, and all you want to do is own someone on the internet. I'm right, and you're wrong, and I'm gonna prove it. In which case, why are you still watching this? Those are my 10 tips. What ideas do you have? Share your success stories and epic failures. Also, for a deeper look at all of this, I highly recommend reading Escaping the Rabbit Hole: How to Debunk Conspiracy Theories Using Facts, Logic, and Respect by Mick West. Until next time, stay sane. I guess we've seen the last of him.
Do your own research!